Hey, what's up, everyone? Have you ever felt like you were a lost cause, that you were facing a situation where it just didn't seem like there were any way out, or that you just weren't going to make it? Or maybe you've seen someone who you just thought was a lost cause. You'd seen how they had lived their life, and you had kind of decided for yourself that there was nothing anyone could do to help them. They might as well be as good as dead, or they might as well be as good as gone, because they just weren't going to make it out. Ezekiel comes face to face with this lost causeness stuff in a vision. God gives Ezekiel this vision, and in this particular vision, God takes Ezekiel and kind of transplants him into this valley of death, this valley of dry bones. And as you're kind of reading the story, as you're kind of reading this vision, you can kind of imagine that this would be the sort of place where dust would be in the air. You'd kind of breathe this dust in and you would choke. It was just a place of lifelessness. It was a place of desolation. It just wasn't a good place to be. There was no hope in this place. And God asks Ezekiel, do you think these bones that are in front of you, bones as far as you can see in this field, in this valley, do you think these bones can have life again? Do you think I can put them back together? And of course, Ezekiel answers in probably the best way you could possibly answer. God, only you know the answer to that question. And God tells Ezekiel they can. I can breathe new life into them. I can put my spirit into them. I can put my breath into them, and they can have life again. I want you to prophesy this over these bones in front of you. I want you to speak to these bones. I want you to tell them that I'm going to put my spirit back in them, that I'm going to give my breath back to them, that I am going to breathe into them, and that I'm going to assemble them, that I'm going to put them back together, and that they're going to have new life again. And of course, Ezekiel starts doing this. He starts prophesying over these bones. And bones start attaching to bones, and there's this rattling sound. It's probably a very surreal moment. Ligaments and tendons are attaching themselves to these bones, and skin is coming on, flesh is coming on, muscles is coming on. And here are these fully assembled humans in front of Ezekiel, but they don't have life yet. It's this interesting moment in this vision. It's kind of a pause or a timeout in this vision where he knows they don't have life yet because they don't have the Spirit of God in them. They don't have the breath of God in them. And then God breathes into them from the four corners of the world. God's breath, God's Spirit, God's wind comes and fills these human beings, these bones that have been reassembled, and they have life again. And instantly Ezekiel recognizes that this is Israel in exile, that they had given up, that they felt like the lost cause. And this was a prophecy of hope. This was a prophecy of resurrection, a prophecy of new life, that one day God was going to breathe new life into Israel, that God was going to breathe new life into the people, and that he was going to put them back together again. Now, that's what the story meant for them back then, but I still think it's a story for us today. I think it's a powerful story about resurrection. I think it's a powerful story about who God is. This story helps us to love God better, and it helps us to love people better. As far as loving God better, this story teaches us about a God who wants to put people back together, who wants to breathe new life into bad situations, who wants to take what's dead and give it new life again. That's praiseworthy. Not only does God do that, he doesn't do it out of obligation. God does that because that's what he loves to do, and that's just such a good thing. And as far as people are concerned, it could be you, it could be me, it could be someone else. But there are people who feel like they're the lost cause. There are people who feel like they're just lifeless and dead walking in this world. And what they need is a fresh breath from God. What they need is the Spirit of God in their lives. They just need God to breathe new life into them. So here's my challenge to you. Here's my challenge for myself. In an effort to love God better, and an effort to love people better, pray a fresh breath prayer. Pray a resurrection prayer over people. Pray it over yourself. Pray it over your community. Ask God to breathe new life into you, into the people around you, into your family, into your friends, and watch what happens. It could be amazing. You might see something amazing unfold before your eyes if you'll do that, if you will speak those words like Ezekiel spoke those words. I love you guys. I hope you have a great week. Peace.